Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Crusader Kings 3 Sri Lanka here on the Lord Master channel. Lord Master, and I would say that this series has been going on for a while now, in which as we get closer and closer to the release date of Crusader Kings 3's newest DLC, The Legacy of Persia, which one day I will do a playthrough on that part of the world. Even though I haven't thought of the question of where exactly or what playthrough I should do, because obviously Sri Lanka will remain a top priority. As of again, my main major goal is to get the prominence, particularly this one I've chosen, up to 900, and then you can ignite the Sangha. But in the previous episode, these last 2 years of its playthrough, that you noticed that we used to be in the mid 300s, and how come it went down? Well, simple really. There's an explanation behind this, and this has to do with all of my other vassals, which is caused by to purify the Sangha. And the reason why it dropped so big is because they did this option, the seize land. And you see this down there? All monasteries on here and lose minus 20 prominence, except if you're patronizing, which loses 15. So that means my vassal has been seizing the lands. The Buddhist rulers are seizing the land that belongs to these monasteries. And I don't like that, even though it does give you a random amount of gold, which is, again, I would never do that unless I'm in deep debt and all other options are exhausted. Although that will unlikely happen. Not on my watch, or anyone else's from my descendants from then on out. But of course it can be worse if there was a one who's not a Buddhist that lives in Sri Lanka. That would occur. So we're going to try to get it back up to prominence, because the prominence for all the monasteries have fell recently because lands have been seized. Now I ask you, which one of you did that? You. You're the one that seized monastic land. This is because this ruler felt these monasteries had gone astray from the holy path by having to manage worldly affairs. Others say this was done for political reasons or pure greed. Well, the man's deceitful, but since he's content forgiving, maybe he'll learn the error of his ways. Who else did this? Mahasena, my brother, you did that too. You know, you are a friend of mine, but look at you. You're compassionate and honest. How could you do this? Perhaps he's got ambitions. You didn't do it. You did not either, but you did worship a major Sri Lanka monastery, which does hurt the prominence a bit. And it wasn't you either. Well, at least we know who is to blame. So yes, that really hurt the efforts of the previous episode. Plus, on that previous episode, we recently took 2 counties up in the north to take it away from this one vassal who defied, the authority of the Aga Rada for not paying tribute. And this was the penalty he gets. And I take away 2 of his lands, which they now belong to me, but it's temporary. Because I'm going to be making quite a lot of investments. And I'm saving up my money for this. Because for this episode, we will finally enter into the accumulation phase. And also, I have recently thought about the cultural traditions, since there's room for that. That I've been doing some thinking before I even started recording of which cultural tradition that I should adapt. I decided to go with this one, esteemed hospitality. In this culture, rulers are known and expected to welcome anyone who might come to their court with open arms, hosting guests and visitors in spectacular fashion. The effects are, rulers are less likely to have courtiers and guests join hostile schemes against them. I mean, we don't want any assassinations around here. and it's cheaper to recruit guests, and a court position's salary cost is reduced. Because I'm always money intensive these days. And characters of this culture are more willing to send away, take, and return hostages. And all the Sinhala characters will have courtier and guest opinion up, and personal scheme success chance increase a bit. That'll cost this much. This character does not have the Iranian heritage. Well, fair enough. What we're doing is, it's just something that we want to be nice to other people. And the reason I said Iranian heritage, well, it's these Baluch people. They're the ones that have esteemed hospitality. They're the ones that are known for. I mean, looking at those, for example. So now let's focus on the here and now. And 48 years old, feeling fine. I'm continuing to raise my son, who, despite the fact that he has a weak physique, and he is honest, he is calm, but however he's arbitrary, so he's not perfect. So when he becomes the Aga Rada, if it's by choice, which is basically going to be the way he is saying it, it's like, oh, he is calm, he is honest. But what about all the other, problems of day-to-day affairs? And it's kind of like, I don't care, just remain calm. So, even though they call him an analytic blackguard, he's very dishonorable, but very irrational. Contradictory, you think? That's the question. I'm out riding, my dog Shadow beside me, when she suddenly runs off into the plains. My retinue says she will come back, but what if she doesn't? Hail, Shadow, I said hail, wait for me. I find Shadow after a few minutes searching, heavily wagging her tail and pretending like nothing is wrong. She's clenching something in her mouth. She gently places it for me to see a couple of golden coins. Thank you. 2 gold. And please remember, that cultural tradition will be that I've chosen to adopt will be coming in 8 years. So truly we'll be entering into a golden age soon. I remember the day when my son Agabodi was born, my sensible son. Memories like these bring me comfort, no matter what happens. I know that my family's there for me, and a house for Gajabahu stands strong. Goodness through the sword, I whisper under my breath. I will treasure the thought. It's time for a break from Gajabahu's routine lesson plan. I think it might be a good time to pass along some values of House for Gajabahu. Oh, good, because I don't want him to be arbitrary. So, in lesson in honor, remember our house tradition. Honor. Because in our house, we have honor. This disfavors arbitrary and we favor honest. We don't want you to be arbitrary. So this is the way to do it. Change his opposite trend. So I will discourage Gajabahu's bad behaviors. There, now he is just. Now he's an analytic paragon. Now he's very honorable, not very dishonorable. You see? He will be an honest, calm, and just man. Not like myself. Kanada Sika. Yeah, the promise may not look good, but you just wait till we enter to the accumulation phase very soon. Which means that, every single year that passes, it'll be 0 up to +3 every year. So the province of the monasteries will go up and up and up as time goes by. Yes, the university visit. My second chance. I've already been here. So let's go to the other university. No cost of anything. Just simply those two. Simply for the sake of it. Because I'd like to study hard. I was supposed to save on my money, but the income is so good enough that I think after my time at university, then we'll be out of here. Again, I would love to have a upgraded education trait for stewardship. I think that would be grand. So let's go study in the university again. Yesterday our travels in Malay were rather grueling. I was so exhausted I overslept. The rest of my entourage did not want to wake me up, saying they worried that I would not be in the right state of mind if they didn't give me enough time to rest. I'll be careful not to oversleep again. Here I am, finally at the gates of Courtiers Malay, the renowned university seat. Even though it should be in Aga Rada Gajabahu, but still, you get the idea. All knowledge is collected inside these halls, and the scholars of repute from all over the world assemble these same hallways and preserve and increase the true wealth of wisdom. Now, so join them. Of course, major centers of culture are also active markets and offer all distractions that a student could ever desire. Time to get started. And remember, I have much greater learning than I was the first time. All we got is one teacher, this Bedouin Ismaili Shia man, and the other is a student named Tersa, who's married to a Mandaean Greek. Well, that's a random thing. Normally it's Mandaic peoples who are Mandaeans, but you get the idea. My son Agabori seems to be having a difficult time on his feast. He buried his face in his food, and the only talking he did was asking for serving after serving. What do you call this? It is duty to be seen, whether you want to or not. Me and Marty made an excursion. I said so. They gained a trait for wonder. Wrote a little poem, carrots and mice. So university studies got a little more successful. Okay, the visit from the Lulu. Attention students, my teacher, Nirvadyavala shots Apavikrama to our benefactor Apavikrama is deigned us to visit. He is ruler of these lands. Be on your best behavior. Ah, you are debating calligraphy. Quite fond of that subject myself. Hope your studies are going well, the Ratladu says while nodding energetically. The Ratladu has the power to assign special privileges to students such as myself. Perhaps take this opportunity to speak up. Let me see. Well, this option is available because, you know this man, my uncle, he's my friend. Much more successful. Or, my lord's subject. remind everyone who I am, and that's tyranny, because I'm his liege. He should be honored to have Aga Rada 10, which again, more successful, not much more successful. Or would like to make a generous donation, which will become much more successful, but I'm paying him money. I'll just do this. But instead, we'll go for this option because he's my friend. It's a delight to meet you again. So, no need to spend money, no need any special treatment. Just say, hello, friend, uncle. Guaranteed to get that now. Share the delicacy from the home country. Party of peasants. I'm suddenly distracted from my midnight studies by a loud and ear-deafening slam and an expensive sounding shouting. What is going on? What in the world is going on? The source of the disturbance appears to be two peasants. Siddhartha knows how they got in there. Ravishly gulping down a barrel of the university spiced wine. So, they jump one of the shots. Yeah, they think they're better than us just because they can read. Become more successful. Poor unfortunate souls. I will see that you learn how to read. I'll be willing to spend some money. And, hey, you know those fools? They'll increase their learning. Because I'm a nice man. Tessa's impromptu poetry was well received. And again. Kadana. That's the name. What's this? School stuff. The halls of the University of Courtiers often echoes with the debates of students and teachers, some of which escalates into notorious rivalries, like between Everia and Nandi. When I find them today, they are, as usual, screaming at each other, trying to prove whose field of study is better equipped to discuss what planet should be considered the most important. Something less usual, however, is that they suddenly notice me approaching and ask me to take a position. Much more successful, massively more successful. There are merits in both disciplines, so 82% chance that they are convinced and pleased by my thesis. Form closer to forming a friendship with those two. 18% chance they think of muddying the waters. Pressed, teachers. Look at that, I'll gain a perk point for this. Now there's a good chance I'll gain 2 perk points for good studies and a high chance to upgrade my education trait. Keep it up! Because I'm trying to study hard, damn it. The library is empty, except for me and Tersa. I've been reading the same page, and I'm a guest over and over. And it's no use. I cannot concentrate. Not when she keeps gently biting the tip of her quill, while softly running a finger across her ample curves. She keeps looking me directly in the eyes while doing it. I think we deserve a break, my paragon. Softly. Oh no. I'm a married man many times over. Must focus on book. days of this. Muddy, one of the most respected teachers of Courtiers, is clearly a foreigner. His accent and manners betray him as a Adamite, also known as Bedouin. While not strictly necessary for my studies, learning his mother tongue would foster a privileged relationship with Mahdi, which is bound to be a good investment for future. Learn Arabic, maybe? Slightly more successful, or much more successful indeed. My friend and I learn Arabic. 92% chance that this will happen. 8% chance that I fail to learn the language, but still got the stewardship lifestyle experience. This will bring me closer to the Majesty. Learn the language. Right, got good studies. High chance to upgrade it. Aced an assignment. This is going to be the last event. Courtiers is often a home of fervent debates among teachers and students alike. After a particularly enlightening lecture from our teacher, I find myself dragged into one such debate with another student, Johan. No, you're making no sense. You're completely misrepresenting the philosopher's point, I scream. You are completely delusional, he fires back. From the corner of my eye, I see to stare at us with a pensive look in his face. Last chance. This is a learning challenge against this German man here, who is of that faith, though he is well learned. Oh, wise man, huh? What has the master said? I convinced him. Did not get perfect studies. When I left, hang on. Oh, I did get it. Golden Sovereign. I'll read that in a moment. This has been such an amazing experience. When I left, I couldn't even imagine the number of wise men that study at the Courtiers. The depth of their thinking and the breadth of their research, just being a part of their same environment has made me a much better person. With my newly gained knowledge, I can make my way home very satisfied. However, during my stay, I've grown close to one of my teachers. Again, let me try to pronounce it correctly. His name is, he's Telugu. Gajabahu, I think. And I'd loathe to part ways. On the other hand, my teacher Mahdi's made such a great impression on me that I'd like to spend more time together. Now, let me see. You two, regarding skills. Mutiny, humiliation. What did you do back a ways? Whatever you did, done. I think he'll be a great addition to my corps. So there you go. I've learned the Arabic language. My education trait's upgraded. And this is the illustrious book I've got, Wellspring of Life. A beautiful book of insightful advice on how to increase your fertility and keeping your partner happy in the bedchamber. The cover is wood. It's been painted to display a repeating image of breathing bodies. Well, here it is, Golden Summit. Plus 10 stewardship and plus 3 learning. And vassal taxes plus 25. Monthly stewardship lifestyle experiences plus 50%. And monthly learning lifestyle experiences plus 25%. Now we're truly living in a golden age now. This is how it begins. Gajabahu can take a failing enterprise to prosperity with the merest shred of attention. Riches springing from where once there was insolvency. Now mind you, it's all stewardship related. So I already got avarices. I should go down this way. Why the hell not? Because my next plan is get the befriend trait. And then I would like to switch to domain focus. And then we could start getting traits and see too if I could become an architect as well. Then after that, see too if I could become a scholar. Too bad we don't have any stewardship books. I'm home now. Surakita's been murdered. I had so many hopes for you, my sweetest child. All the things you would learn, experience, do. There were so many possibilities, a whole life to live. Maybe you would have had children of your own one day. But now none of those things ever come to be. Who did this? Executed by her on those orders. Oh my goodness. Rest in peace. She's of Chera dynasty. But keep in mind, I'm not the kind of person that would fetch it back, because that kind of goes against who I am. The whole of my son, Surakita's deaths left in my heart remains clawed open each time I think of this foul killer and the justice that remains to be served. Day after day, the cruel logic of revenge dominates my thinking, fueled each night in fitful dreams, where I see knit into Kalei, an old house chair racked by the same grief my family endures. Don't even think about it. I'll be willing to have her as a rival. Nugatukai won't get away with this. Who's your captor? Prison by Chola. Despite this incident, and now accumulation phase will start very, very soon. So 1144 will be considered as the true beginning of the Golden Age. Lanka. Vaishnavite peasants have moved from Vijayarajapura to Brata of Atakalapua. But keep in mind, the predominant area is Tamil, which is actually good, because communal. Building construction time and cost is lessened. And also the culture head of the Tamil is actually going to get Garuda warriors in 19 years. Whereas it takes 8 years for us. So that means buildings to be built here are cheaper. So it's a good thing that we have Tamils here. As I stand in my dining room warming my hands against the fire and lost in my thoughts, a known maid approaches me, tears in her eyes. After a elaborate courtesy, she looks me in the eyes and says, "My Aga Rada, your sickly offspring, the beloved Damika, didn't resist the illness that befell her that died some moments ago." Without any other word to say, she just stands right in front of me, tears flowing, waiting for my next command. My poor child. She was sickly, you know. Rest in peace. Oh man, it's been really getting to me. I need to pet my dog. That's a way to calm it down. I find Shadow playing with some children. As she spots me, she quickly bounds over her tail wagging. And as I crouch down, she promptly flops over onto her back. I spend many minutes petting her black stomach. It's been a long time since I felt this relaxed. Thank you, my friend. Restore the accolades. The launch shall dignate days of my retinue lie dormant. Spread the word to the Rada land. The Aga Rada Gajabahu calls. Worthy sons of my time-honored stations of honor shall find themselves warmly welcomed. Eligible candidates for every inactive accolade will appear with next year and become knights. Send a herald. Shadows walked by my side for many years, and the passage of time does not spare dogs. As I knelt beside her, she's wagging her tail slowly, but she cannot raise her head. I sit with her long into the night, petting her black back until the tail stills. I will miss you, Shadow. You've been good to me. I'm making a lot of losses in life, do I? Life hasn't been unkind to me. Big man. It's official now. The Sri Lankan Sangha has transitioned to accumulation. Now, the Sri Lankan Sangha accumulates power and influence. Thanks to the support from both elites and commoners, who in turn accumulate good merit, perhaps the purification phase resulted in greater respects towards the monasteries by laypeople, or perhaps the strife and chaos of the degeneration phase encouraged the laypeople to support the monasteries. The growth of the monasteries, however, is a double-edged sword. Monastics might grow complacent and lazy, requiring a purification phase to rid the Sangha of heretical ideas and immorality. Even worse, the island might attract greedy scoundrels, both foreign heathens and local rulers, who seek to plunder the monasteries and destroy the Sangha. And the monastics are too corrupt to inspire the people, leading to the degeneration phase. So now that we're under the accumulation phase, this is how the current effects are, as a reminder. Struggle Clash Castelli only targets one count. The effects for those involved and inner characters more easily accept white peace and wars within the struggle region. Struggle Clash Castellis are expensive. For culture, learning a new language provides prestige. Granting a title to a local noble provides prestige. Increasing development of the county with a different culture increases cultural acceptance. For faith, the prominence of each Sri Lankan monastery changes a random amount between 0 to 3 every year. Holy wars cannot be declared in the struggle region. Completing buildings and temple holdings provide piety. Learning a new language provides piety, as well as 10% increase of piety. And here's the other. Development growth goes up plus 30 monthly. Controlled growth, however, is hobbled. Building buildings of castles and cities are more expensive, but much more cheaper for temple buildings and holdings. Also unlocks the commission epic decision for independent rulers and adds chance to grant claims. Unlocks cell titles decisions for kings and emperors. And less gain of monthly prestige. So, in order to keep away from degeneration, this is what we must do for purification. You can, well, do those purification things. Build the purification tank, pilgrimage, Taberna, Buddhist land grants, you know, the usual things. Be a Buddhist ruler that's virtuous, very virtuous. Convert. Yeah, you get the idea. And for degeneration, these are things you don't do. Seizing land, wars, killing, sinful rulers, hooks, hunting, and of course, hold a large prayer ceremony for major Sri Lankan deity. Which again, we are quite a very long way to get to 900. But this is the step in the right direction as we are in accumulation now. How much does it cost to build temple buildings now? 340 gold. Good. I'll be looking forward to living in the era of temple builders. Alright, Aga buddy. Up you go. Be careful with that. Because I've been getting stressful as of late after those recent losses. In a few months we'll switch lifestyle. In actuality, wait 10 months. Oh, call to a war. This is my wife calling a war against this person. This is a liberty war. Well, I mean, it doesn't threaten your life. I mean, for once, I'll respectfully decline. Because it's not a claimant, or if it was a claimant war, I would intervene. But since it's liberty, that's none of my business. You probably have other allies over there in Pagan. Hey, court event for once. The entertainer. Everyone is still talking about the many talented entertainers up at Vikrama gifted me a while back. One of them, however, has stood out in particular. Oddfride, who is of Northern ancestry. Well, I hope you like that. I think I speak to everyone here that Oddfride is an entertainer unlike any other I've seen across the Silk Road. It would be a waste to let her languish as nothing more than a mere servant. Nay, it would be proper to promote her to be one of the regular members of this court, as a reward of such wonderful service she has provided for us. It's a bit unorthodox, suggested one, but not unheard of. When I asked the newling, what she thinks, she meekly responds with carefully chosen words. All I wish to bring joy in your court, no matter what you require of me. Robust, Freddy. 1 second. You are Norse. That's Norse culture. Not Norwegian. Norse. 100% Norse. She's a Silk Road entertainer. Maybe she's a fellow Buddhist. You definitely deserve more. I might get a proper courtier. It takes about 2 months to get all the money back, so it's fine. It's a fine investment. How long have you been around? Surprised you're not even infirm. Come on, get up. Reinforce relations. Ah, yes. There's something we can do with that. Go get the East Africans. Because why? That's because of this. Draw in gold and ivory exports. Important gold and ivory. This increases the monthly income a bit. So every little bit helps. Let the trade flow. And yeah, it helps. I like it that. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Remember how I said that I wanted to go on a pilgrimage too? No, you did do the pilgrimage to Sarnath. You could go on another one. You know, since I have this habit of seducing, you know, other women and such. For once I'll do this. This is against my vassal. Get a secret, deviant, not learn of her secret, but this is not mine. She's compassionate. I don't think she would be this kind. So there you have it. There it is. I honestly forgot about, you know, that we were building this structure. But this definitely helps the prominence of the older monasteries to get it back to the right direction. It's a step to the right direction. But let's not rush into things here. Last chance. It's Courtier. May your journey be safe and swift. As their Aga Rada, my vassals owe me their allegiance. My word is law, but how much obedience without devotion is worth? In times of crisis, a slow response or a half-hearted effort can lead to disaster. I cannot afford such a risk. I have more important men to impress. I hastily believe Devi looks over my children with her usual coldness. No child of yours should be without a match in marriage. If you allow me to tutor them, there'll soon be suitors. There will soon be suitors lining the streets outside. Well, my Arcana could use tutelage. So yeah, it appears the trend does go towards purification early on, which is always good. Waiting to pick up this perk and then we'll switch over to domain focus. Use befriend. So you can befriend whoever you like. The land and the people under my care are my strengths, and that's the main focus. We're gonna start working our way down and see too if I can become the architect. Like that. Too far away from here. Tamil Theravada peasants have moved from Vijayarajapura to Anuradhapura. So now there's a small Tamil minority there. Yep, the Tamils have been spreading up here. Which just feels like it's a bit true to life. Because at the start of the period of the City of Kings Tamil, the number of Sri Lankan Tamils were mainly confined up north. And it wasn't until around, I think it was 12 or 1300s AD or so, that the Sri Lankan Tamil population increased and spread to other areas such as to the east. Such as far down as over there in I know it says Madakalapua, but there is an alternate name of that area that I'm trying to remember. The Tamil name of the area. Batikaloa, yeah, Batikaloa. Shout out to anybody, any viewers that's from Batikaloa or any part of Lanka. You get the idea. Again, I've studied the country well. Don't worry, I'll start spending my money on temples very, very soon. Especially those that's under the control of under my domain personally. And be willing to make more investments. Yeah, I got it. Every little bit helps. Also, in case you didn't see earlier, See, ever since we built that, now we're back in the right direction. When I built that large Buddhist structure, it's a step in the right direction. So hopefully we'll get up to the 500s or 600s during accumulation, but I believe that's just, you know, you're just pushing it. But for me, the reason why this reign for Gajabahu is to exist is that it's to bring in great wealth to here. Oh, my wife's been in prison. That means she's lost the Liberty War. So that means you gotta lower your crown authority. Your title isn't lost, you're fine. But if you did indeed lose your title, then that means you get to come home with me. I'll be happy about that. Tell you, when we reach 400, 1400 gold. Jyotisana. When we reach to that amount of gold, I will start spending big on temple buildings. Because remember, our cultural tradition, religious patronage, gains renown when constructing and upgrading temple holdings. Upgrading. Upgrade as in, like, do I get anything out of it once it's complete? Yes. And when you build something like this, you gain 150. Aha. And there's a grand tour there. Yes. We'll build 3 temples up there. Up there in the Jaffna Peninsula. Yeah. Which will no doubt bring more tax income coming from over there. For any Buddhist rulers there. And such. And plus, it won't be until 2750 till we get to the next Dynasty Legacy. Which, as this playthrough continues, it's highly likely I'll go for activities since I have a habit of doing them. So I thought, well, we should improve upon this. Range patrol. Samanthi. Agabodi. I don't know about you, because, I mean, for one, Son's Gouty. I don't think you would... Gout is not inheritable, it's just... It's an unfortunate thing that's happened, okay? Oh yes, now let's spend it on those temple buildings. Honesty runs in the family. Just wait until we receive the next payday. Okay. All 3 of these areas are going to be temple holdings. And it's a good thing we have Tamils there to reduce the cost of the holding just a bit. And since it's under my personal control, we gained 150 renown. So that would mean 450 renown total. So that's a good gain. Here, here, and here. Location, location, location. And we'll build another one here. As I said, this is the era of the temple builders. Once they're all complete, not only it just adds fervor, which is, you know, it's already high as it is, but more importantly, it just adds renown to my dynasty. And I would also be willing to upgrade these temple holdings here. Especially those two around here. Since you're not doing anything with them, and I'll have to do something about them myself. It's a good thing that the Tamil culture has the Minorianism innovation. No fancy dreams, I'll spare my gold because what we're living on now. Raiders. Pirates of the Indian Ocean. That's a rare sight. As long as they don't come here, and we're gonna have a problem. I'd have to raise my men at arms to drive them out. My informers, led by Aga Rada Gajabahu, told me to avoid being seen in public for the next weeks, as agitators have been fanning the flames of hate with my commoners and peasants. My Raja Sadikulava told me there are major issues of my personality and my day-to-day behavior that causes my the populace to revolt against my rule and threaten my life. It seems this time I escaped, but next time I have an unpleasant, dangerous spies. Excellent job. So, my spy is able to foil the action that may well cause my demise. The chance of this to happen depends positively on my God's very high intrigue, only something better than 17 qualifiers bonus. And on being a schemer, my own high intrigue better than 11 also increases chances of affecting negatively on my low influence less than 8, and intrigue lower than 15. As you're about to be facing your own death, you might be understandably shaken depending on your personality traits. I mean, I am a calm person. I may not have the best intrigue, but you gotta thank her for this. It's my lord. As additional payment in a recent trade, I find myself in possession of a large herd of cattle. I've been assured that animals are of the highest quality, but the question of what should be done with them remains. $75, whereas we can make that in a couple of months. Unless you want to save that for more temple building. You know what, their hides will turn a nice proud ring to cleaver. To do that instead. It's like we're currently build one here. We're gonna build one there and another there. Years old. 15 years old, and you're gonna be a man by come this December. Don't worry about the prominence too much. It's gonna keep on increasing as the years pass. You're in good hands. Because for now, we refer to this as the era of the temple builders. I woke up today with sore limbs, experiencing vomits, persistent cough, and with an extreme lack of energy. Probably it's just a passing element. There's always a nagging possibility of being something far worse. Hopefully everything will be alright. Alright, all better. Something's been off recently. I don't mean the major events that's been happening around my life. What I mean is, on a smaller scale, a more mundane scale, I felt as if things have not gone my way. Yeah, let's talk about that from earlier this episode. It's the little things that stress me out, like misplaced items, or how I seem to bite my tongue by accident a lot these days. A beggar I know happened to be staying in this area. Concluded that my spate of bad luck is caused by a ghost of some sort that's been following me around. And if there is indeed a ghost, It's hard to see whether it's genuinely malevolent or benevolent. I'm not aware of the harm it is causing me. But I was told that it needs to be dealt with through an exorcism, if I'm to be ridding of this troubling influence. I'm not sure about this, and yet I might have to. Now I'm haunted by a ghost. Well, this will definitely harm my intrigue, and my stewardship and my health. So if you wish to rid yourself of the haunted by the ghost modifier, go visit an exorcist. That's a decision you can take. So, that's something we have to think about sooner or later. So you probably want to hold off on that temple building thing for a little bit. An old adventurer I was acquainted with had recently passed away without any heirs, nor any family for that matter. Interestingly, he left all his belongings to me in his will, mainly a decent pile of gold and other precious items he acquired as a result of his journeys to various places. Though we weren't close friends, this surely means that he thought somewhat highly of me, at least, for some reason. That was very kind of him. So, 25% chance that it could be either 20, 30, 40, or 50 gold. Got 50. Good. How much is it to exercise a ghost? 50. Okay, it doesn't cost money. Actually, it might. So now, there are rumors that my recent spate of bad luck and issues is due to a problematic ghost that's been following me around. Is such a ghost even real? Can I find a way to resolve this issue? I'll seek the aid of the exorcist to see if it's possible to exorcise the ghost. If hopefully a positive outcome instead of a negative one. So, for historical context here, people. The spirits of the dead have featured in the folklore and mythology of virtually every culture around the world since time immemorial. Sometimes they were friendly, and oftentimes they weren't. And each culture developed its own special methods for dealing with such spirits when they were perceived to be causing trouble. First heaving. Cape Bertouf. Go seek out a Beko. I meet with the Beko who was recommended me as an excellent exorcist. Of course, in exchange for such services, I must pay the exorcist a certain fee. One can only hope that this ends well. Though the exorcist tells me that we have to be patient before we see the results. Oh, I'll be generous about this. Pay a generous fee. If I pay him more than the usual fee, perhaps this will increase the chances he'll be successful in ridding me of the ghost. But there's still a small chance it might fail. I was nervous about it all, but it seems like the exorcist did a proper job. Whatever the exorcist did, it worked. Things seem to be going better with my life now, as if the ghost was never really there to cause any sort of ruckus, assuming there was a ghost in the first place. Surely the ghost will never return, I hope. Save a little bit before we build another one down here. Wait till you get above a good amount of 400 plus gold, and then we'll build another temple holding down there. Chess is becoming increasingly popular, even if I don't play it much. It would have hurt to have a cheap chess set around to practice my chess moves. Somebody decried chess as a waste of time, because who would bother staring at a bunch of poor abstract representation of armies moving back and forth? Still, if I'm good enough, I could impress some people, or at least be able to socialize with many of the others who play the game and talk about strategies and tactics. There are some artisans nearby who could produce one such cheap chest set made from local wood if I want. You know, strategy games are a pointless waste of time. I get the reference. I understood that reference. I didn't use the hook because that leads to degeneration. I just saw that brother-in-law just got killed. Was slain in a duel. Crud. Thank you very much. And plus, you doing that since you're a fellow member of the family helps with the renown that way. Thanks for the donation, and this will be going to building a temple. My sister died in childbirth. Oh dear. Now my nephew runs the place. All I need to do is raise more money, then we'll build one more temple holding down there, and we'll dedicate it to upgrade the temple holdings that we have here. I'm still smiling at a joke at my wife because I made it this morning's council session. Passado Vikrama. Oh, who? Catch now. Cousin, I've been meaning to talk to you. But I know you feel much affection for her. What, really, to place on a console? Surely another Sinhala voice would serve you better than this Uyghur outsider. Aye, the Aga Rada may pick his own council. They'll be disgruntled a little, but the island's at peace here, so there's no reason to get angry at me. She saved my life, you know. My Senator reports my troops lack training with the current commanders of the realm. This will cause a significant degradation of performance on the battlefield if commanded by a present cadre of generals, myself included. If I so choose, I could address the situation by staging complex and expensive maneuvers for everyone involved. That would nearly bankrupt me. Allow fighting standards to slip. We're gonna have a lack of cohesive strength with this. Let's just hope that we don't intervene in anybody else's wars for a time. Or for anybody who has a claimant on my lands and then they decide to invade me. Every 5 years we get a perk. That's a good arrangement. A patrol. My nephew and the daughter of Telangana, who is a reincarnation of her grandmother. Ooh, that's a rare acknowledgement. Although it's a lunatic. But, go ahead. Why not? Could demand a payment. Why the heck not? That's what a house said. Use the hook on involved ruler. Didn't affect it. So I guess that's different. Somebody find a worthy successor. Same for the Yeah. You gotta maintain the status quo here. With the coming of his age, the time Gajabahu will be spending in universities at an end. Always the curious and knowledge-hungry child, Gajabahu has shown affinity for scholarship from an early age. Understanding his philosophical and theoretical works is impressive. He often engages in debate with his former teachers, even at such a young age. He can be heard quoting obscure passages to support new ideas and theories. He's a mastermind philosopher. Look at him now. If he wanted to, he could be a monk, even if I were to tell him that, but I mean, that sounds like it, but still. I said, he's got the qualifications to live as a bhikkhu, but no, he needs to rule. Because he'll be the most virtuous Buddhist ruler that the kingdom of Lanka has. Kingdom of Tambapanni. Plus, he's loyal, so no intrigue on him. And plus, he's physically weak, but who's going to tell him no on that issue? And plus, he knows the language of the people of Pagan. So he's valuable to me. There goes that old worn language manual. Another interminable council meeting trundles on until my ears suddenly pricked up by my wife Goulet's winsome tones. Urgent business, my lord. Tambapanni is in dire need of the capable seneschal. Someone to properly see to the arrangements of your mighty household. A task Dhanamita has quite failed. She gestures to herself grandiloquently. Let me sort out for this for you, my liege. This sort of work requires a certain finesse. Mahasana is clearly fuming. Hell. Oh boy. I was about to say, you sure you got what it takes? Yeah, it's time for Dhanamita to move over. You know, we don't really need a seneschal, but you get the idea. A charming entertainer. Another entertainer? Everyone is still talking about the talented entertainers Pasladu Vikram gifted me a while back. There's even gossip of how Uriel, my caravan master, is now infatuated with one of the entertainers, a Ruski girl named Sibislava. Today, Uriel approaches me with interesting request. Val says mercy. Oh, gracious and wise Aga Rada Gajabahu. Sibislava is unlike any other woman. A true flower who deserves to be more than a mere servant. I humbly beg of you to let me take her as my consort so I can love her the rest of our lives. I know this is what she deserves too. I glance over at the kneeling Sibislava, who looks at me with pleading eyes, shakes her head slightly. Enough that I see, but not enough that one notices. It's no secret that in my court that she doesn't like his attention, so he's lying or delusional about her desires. I don't want to anger him over a mere servant, but is it right to let him have his way with her? Let me see. I'll just say, please be reasonable. This is just an infatuation. It's none of my business, really. I got other pressing matters on my mind. Like one more temple holding that we will soon build. Because you need 20, and we shall get it. Gotcha. And now for places like there, all it needs is 330, so that's 10 gold less. To turn this to a temple grounds. And it does increase the tax here, so every little bit helps. My wife Gule and I are ambling through my gardens. Laughing raucously at a rhyme she overheard a servant tell when Vikram across the path. He looks at us sternly. My lord, there is something I wish to discuss, if you have a moment. Join us, you gotta hear this one. This is Gule's diplomacy challenge against Vikram. 30% chance she wins him over. 70% chance that this is the last straw for him. This isn't gonna end well. My friend Kitty died. Remember, I have the befriend scheme, so I can befriend who I would like. I have a horrible feeling that the joke hasn't landed. My fears are confirmed when, moments later, Vikram exhales a soul-crushing sigh, rolls his eyes at one himself. Gule shrugs. Come on, what a prude. Why that one, Gule? Stick to the service material, eh? Toilet humor of hers. Potty mouth. Held down on his first words. Gajabahu. It's not that difficult to pronounce the first words. Curious, have you? What else can you say? Keep talking. Huh. Wants to write a book about diplomacy. Decent. You got it. With the gold. During my afternoon, I stroll down the streets of Vijayarajapura. My daughter Suri runs up to me. Father, they just started swinging one out of wind. She's interrupted by a high-pitched shriek, turning our attention to the fight down the street. The combatants appear to be a couple of pages from my court, circling each other in preparation for another tussle. Suri, help them mediate. No longer my court physician. She was one of the good ones. One of the better ones, in fact. Did you even reach to... Oh, almost a renowned physician as well. And let's not forget she was a court tutor as well. Point a new one quick, because you care about the education of others. You'll do, since you're the wisest of us all. Plus it pays well. And who's going to be the court physician? Oh, I got it. How about you? You get to perform medical treatments. Anybody gets sick, perhaps you can get the physician trait, which increases a little bit more learning. That's a good idea. Now, my wife, Master Gule, bursts in my room, knocking over a lamp and almost setting the cushion alight. Gajabahu, I'm sure I'm being followed. I was pointing at the... there were men skulking outside my chambers. My things have been moved. You should look into it, Spy Master, because that's who you are. No need to worry. She'll know what to do. As I recline with my wife, my Hesegule, we receive a missive from my spy master, my Hesegule. Instructing us to both attend to my dungeon. There, in the dank bowels of my duga, we find her with a miserable Aga Rada Gajabahu in chains at her side. This is the culprit, my lord, because there is no doubt. Well done. Torture my cousin? Well, I don't do that because I'm a calm man. But I'll say, it seems you have some explaining to do, Gajabahu. Prisoners have every reason no one think me as a tyrant. I find my beneficiary Elvira Narendra surrounded by scrolls and manuscripts, fiercely flipping through pages. My lord, there are so many areas of diplomacy that are worthy of attention. Courtly conduct, relationships, poetry. I don't even know where to start. What topic does your news yearn for? Cousin, I know I can't revoke your title because of, that's tyranny. So, what you did, the penalty is you pay me a ransom. That's all you can give me? How much do you make a month? Oh, come on. Well, consider this as punishment, cousin. Plus, it's for temple donation and temple building fund. That's what we're doing. I will now begin to, consider upgrading. This when we get up to here. Plus, it gives you 90 renown each time you complete those. The Vedic Reformation. Manga Gole, a prominent figure among the Buddhists, has gathered every Hogan on the land together to discuss their beliefs and establish official doctrine for the pagan faith. These Vedic Hogans are encouraging cooperation and tolerance, even towards non-believers, and claim that the only way to show proper devotion by honoring Buddha is with human sacrifices. The burgeoning movement is not to instate a religious head, preferring instead to let each Hogan determine what teachings are part of their own temple. Well, it does not matter what these heathens believe. Oh, I could do these things now, but we're kind of short on cash here. Perhaps we should start saving for a grand tour, which for future reference, which will likely do that in the next episode. Go here, 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 and here. And if you were to do it at the lowest, and plus the things I like to do, travel with Silk Road merchants, and to go slow. You need 300 gold to do so. At least. That's for future reference. So for now, save up money. Because next episode we'll go on another grand taxation tour. Yes. Dedicated to Boyika Devi, who is my primary wife. I see less and less of my wife going. It seems she's been spending much time like beneficiary. Instead, I encountered the pair of them, slapping their thighs with some jest, teetering when they glanced over at me. What am I to make of this? Oh, hell. I am above this. I will not waste any more time with her. Although, we stop being lovers. But do not worry. I can, lever back whenever I want. I alchemist and brings a man before me. All smells brace. This is Gajabahu, a respected scholar in my circles. Not my son. Bahu. The man bows and manages to look both pleased and bashful all at once. Please, no need for that. I'm here to lend you my service, if it pleases you. Well, it does. Please assist him. Or make it become my mentor. Yeah, go ahead. "17 months left. Again, we need 300 plus gold, which is the same amount of money you would get to upgrade a temple holding, but instead that money is going to go to, for another grand taxation tool, which we'll do that in the next episode. Crossing the courtyard, I'm pleased to finally hear someone appreciating my wife, Gule. Oh, don't listen to those sour grapes, Appa Vikrama. Not Vikrama Bahu, there's two of them. No, you're the best, Kaluva. Tambapanni has had it ages, at least that I know of. For a lot of time, sure the spot I saw the Vikram Bahu ran the shadowed stables across the quad, eye twitching before he melts in the darkness. Say, let's have a night out, just us three. That'll stop these disgruntled vassals. Quit spending money. I'm trying to save it up. My writer, Viranamendra, updates me on this progress, droning on about the limits of quill and desk as my mind reels with bold ideas from my book. Writing may not be my personal forte, but that doesn't mean I can't have a say in how my money is spent. I have a few suggestions. 89% chance that the ideas will grow. 0% chance ideas are poor. 10% ignore. They do work well. Damn right they do. This is where we are. 370s for Mahavihara. It can be further improved upon whenever I get to support the Sangha. But that would be waiting until a later time. Agabudi, you got Fortune Builder. You what? Relic Veneration. Are you? Mahavihara. Good, good. Which means, don't do anything. Which means, Federation Buddhist 2. That's the wrong one! That means you get a bit to the Abhagiri. You bonehead. While on a leisurely stroll, cry of the particular merchant stands out from the regular hustle bustle of the street. Greetings, my lord. I have an exquisite assortment of wares, if my lord has the coin. As I peer at the myriad of goods in the stall, I can hear Pasla du Vikram. The etchings on that piece must be real, and quite valuable too. He glanced at me with a triumphant smile. Dora the Italian. I'd like to get stewardship experience as much as possible, so I opt for the suggested trinket. I trust your air and expertise, cousin. Successful haggle. My haggling skills are quite adequate. Gain 50 stewardship. I'll look at that artifact in a moment. Gosh, my Hesegule is great. Blank away my area is up a Vikrama hovers in the view. Close the door behind him. A sponge on a stick, what the heck? My lord, I can't deal with confidence, a delicate matter. Hesitates. Do you think it might be given Gule's responsibilities and honors because you like her? Vikrama tugs his neckline nervously. Perhaps it would be better off if you saw to that. And let the officers of your nobles. So what you're telling me is, so she's fired from the council for 5 years, placate passes for 5 years, start the seduce scheme with her, and fan the flame. Although she wouldn't like that, though we were lovers once. Let me think, is there anyone that's better than her? I mean, her intrigue skill actually just increased. No, there's no one better. I'll say, Kule? Ha, no way. What a ridiculous notion. Plus, I'll seduce her in my terms. My terms. Erotic thoughts have nagged at me since my talk with Vikram. Not dreams of Kule and I. It would not be right to betray Esiboyika Devi, but the Alliance sure there's a reason for making me feel this way. What am I to do? I mean, I didn't romance her, right? To make her soulmate. I must follow my heart. This scheme will have an extra success chance. Fanned flame for the next 5 years. Yeah, give it a go ahead. I did say my terms, but I'm doing it anyway. I like her because of her beauty and intelligence, that's why. And additionally, if I remember correctly, she's a former Silk Road entertainer. Although I thought she had beauty. No, that's Hale. She has intelligence. One of the many reasons why I like her. She has effective ages, that's why her intrigue skill just increased a bit. My lord, my beneficiary Benraja smiles, and just over the extinct dance. My book, my masterpiece is finished. Behold, an extravagant chronicle detailing the history of the well-known Gajabahu dynasty, first offered to Aga Rada Gajabahu. The cover is wood that is repeated to display a repeating image of a detailed hyena. Wow. A tiny but elegant description on the first is dedicated to the stalwart friend Boyika Devi. Prestige, renown. I'm impressed. Extravagant book with masterful lettering. Put that on display. Yes. The Vijayabahu Chronicles. Yeah, that book looks a little more prolonged, huh? Better fix that at some point. One more year. Again, I like the idea of I'm naming him court physician so he may pick up the physician trait as time goes by. Want to make him the most learned character as possible. What use are those long hours in literary recital in today's years as scholars under study if I can't muster enough diplomatic matter to sway Goulet? I'm well aware of the power of eloquent compliment. Showing admiration for a woman's best qualities is a sure path to her heart. I shall write the letter to her, complimenting her. I mean, she's a content planner. Very rational, somewhat generous. Or I could just say her impressive physical shape, because, you know, yes, he likes that compliment because she's fit, sound of body. Now she's gonna be grave news. It's certain that Boyka Devi's own wife is scheming against her. What the heck? You want to murder her? Come on, I love both of you girls. Well, they're grown-ass women. I'll say, let the traitor be known to all. Don't do that. Ha! That's a heck of an arrangement. You got one who's this, and the other, hunchback. You got it. We have ourselves an alliance. Don't expect me to intervene in your affairs. That's a match made in hell. Okay, we do have enough money to start the grand tour, but save a little more. Signatures Society. My son, Prokravo, has had an affair with his lover, Lulu. Who's that girl? I do not see what's fuss about it, as it is not as if lust is unnatural affliction. Have you got nothing more for to attend to? It's shunned, but my son and heir has been named as the real father of the unborn child. I had no thought of honoring his family. There's no such thing as bastards in our family. Such you're the one who formed yourself. Seems you wanted to rush into things, son. But now look at you. That's very unbecoming of you being a Buddhist, but however, you're not a sinner. No. Who loved first? That's what I want to know. Like, did she seduce you or did you seduce her? And, uh-oh, lover's pox. Oh, this can't be good for Pramakravo. Huh. That could mean he could get lover's pox too. And he's physically weak. Oh, Pramakravo, what is the matter with you, man? Did you seduce her, or did she seduce you? In fact, get to the bottom of this. But first, as conversation slow, and the once laughing guest offered only tired smiles, I say Goulet turned to me, still brimming of energy. Have something in store for everyone, says, can you guess? A reading, I replied, noticing a lingering click by the door with a heavy tone in his hand. Goulet was impressed and gestured to the man inside. The man stirred, pulled up the chair, and Goulet rose to her feet. Dear friends, she called across him. Any suggestions for our dear poet? Even though she addressed everyone, her eyes settled back on me. Let's be entertained. Riddle poems. This click reads first. She seems completely engrossed. Good choice, Gajabahu, she says as she brushes off her dress. Alright. When did you fell in love with her? When was this? When did either of you become lovers? Well, it can't be long, so they must have known each other since childhood. Probably an old childhood crush that I never paid attention to. Maybe when the reign of prop combo begins, we'll find our answer there. Of when did these two become lovers? You can do a pilgrimage to Sri Pada as well. Exit compendium of poisons is destroyed. Provinces fell recently, due to other people, I guess. Look at you. You're a fornicator. You're weak. But how I fear. I was about to say, there's gotta be a way to tell him to, hey, break it up. But you can't do that, can you? The servants have been all sent away, and our bed has been decorated with seashells. As masculine and statues smiles confidently, he joins without any hesitation. With the help of hands, smiles, and limbs, we reaffirm the devotion we saw before Siddhartha, perhaps in a more carnal fashion than intended. As we're united in marriage, now we're united in heart. See ya, we're lovers again. Back to square one. We'll finish this episode after these couple of temples are built. Sinhala Theravada moved from Matala to Vijayarajapura. So now it's Sinhalese again. Nephew. So it was you, worthless fiend. You've always had issues with it. Even my primary wife was in on it. Crisis in Aga Rada Gajabahu. Trouble is brewing inside my domain as significant segments of the populace, inspired by a dangerous demand, are showing their distress about the conditions of living. The commoners are refusing to engage with all the bureaucrats running the place, disobeying orders given by the militia, and causing all sort of havoc with general policies being implemented in the region. This state of affairs could cause significant disturbance in the area. This could lead to dangerous situations from physical integrity down the road. Oh hell. We shall use my intrigue in order the assassination of the dangerous one. Besides the relevant stat, traits just, generous, diligent, calm, honest, compassionate give a bonus to the chance of success. Conversely, the traits wrathful, callous, sadistic, paranoid, arbitrary, and vengeful give a penalty. 62% chance that the control level of Nagadeepa will go down by 10 and will get away with the less 2 evils. 37% that the control will be greatly reduced and hurts the prestige and end up in a worse situation. Got away with it. Oh, could have been a lot worse. By the way, get this back under control. 4 years! What the hell? Do we not have a seneschal? We never had one to begin with. Here. Get it back up. Now it'll take 3 years. Temples are finished. Very good. And look at the renown that just jumped up. Not to mention it helps with the tax income for each of those temple holdings I would give out. If we could get things back up under control again. It's that pirate infestation over there in Nagadeep is what's causing it. Okay, one more event. Another charming entertainer. And this one is a pretty Han girl, Chinese girl named Fu Zhongyi. Genius! Whoa! And beautiful too. You're basically a Chinese princess. I'll tell you what. Let me see. Perhaps this wonderful lady would prefer my company. I mean, surely Patanamasi of Mulai Tivu won't like that, but although she may be callous, but she's just... Well, now there's a woman I would like to bed with, and I'll get my time with her, which will be for the next episode, of course. Because, you know, I mean, so I'm glad there's room for that. So for future reference, I'll seduce her. And then in the next episode, we will use this newfound money to, well, first hold court, support the Sangha, and go on a grand tour. So, again, we'll see all that in the next episode, as this was mainly peaceful, but it was basically transitioning to what I hope that I would call it as a golden era. And it is the era of the temple builders, in which I'm in full front of it. And just hope to you don't get lover's pox. I beg of you. You're the greatest mind that Tambapanni has to offer. You can't handle the illness. And this is the one. The heir to Pagan. Not of his dynasty. So that means she seduced you, not the other way around. I understand now. You need to get away from that temptress. And it's too bad I can't do anything about it. Just say, hey, you break up with her. But anyways, so we'll deal with all this in the next episode. But until then, so long for now.